So let's get started. So hello, everyone. Welcome to All In on Real Estate. I'm your host, Aaron Goins. I started this meetup because when I was in the military, no one in my circles talked about real estate. They talked about debt. They talked about other finances, but nothing about real estate. So I want to start a meetup where people can talk about real estate and build generational wealth for them and their families. So I'm very, very excited for our guest speaker today, Christina Lael. How you doing, Christina?
I'm great. Thank you so much.
I get it right? Lael?
Yes, Lael.
Okay, Lael. Okay, cool. And I'm very, very excited. I'm not going to hold a lot of time. I know you're one of the best CPAs in this country, and I've been really, really excited to hear your presentation. So the floor is yours to talk.
Oh, thank you guys so much. So I was just telling Aaron that I am recovering from COVID. So I'm going to cut this a little bit shorter than I usually do, just so I can get through it. But the main things are going to be presented to you, and you can get the access to this. And basically what this is I've created a program unlike any other. There's no program like it where you can actually do tax planning for yourself. So it's called the Freedom Tax Plan Program. And we'll give you access to that, and we'll even give you a great deal on it for you guys being here tonight. So really, that's the information. All this information is going to be in that program. Plus, you can have access to the slide decks as well. So basically, it's how to do tax planning, because very few people actually do tax planning. Oh my gosh, sorry. Okay. Wow, that is really going fast. Okay, you know what? Hold on a second. Whoops. I'm just going to take it out of presentation mode because it's doing crazy things. So of course, this is intended not to be used for official legal or professional accounting and legal guidance. And depending upon your circumstances, it could be different. And this is all about educating you for the best practices that we use in legal tax planning, because I'm a tax attorney. So I do tax planning because I'm a CPA and an attorney. Admitted to the Tennessee bar in 2011. Used to work at a tax department at a Fortune 500 company. Started my own business. Only one of 60 tax coaches, and co-author of Thinking Outside the Tax Box, available on Amazon. So I'm an attorney and a CPA, which is why I can help people like you, investors and business owners, save money in taxes. Because as you know, taxes can really reduce your profits. So today we're going to talk about why most CPAs don't use tax strategies and how you can save money in taxes yourself with my Freedom Tax Plan program. And I'm going to just introduce these strategies that are in the Freedom Tax Plan program itself. So probably most of you know that most CPAs and accounting firms do not do tax planning because they focus on so many other things like payroll or bookkeeping or wealth management. Well, we just focus on tax planning and tax returns. And of course, being an attorney also helps, being able to study the tax code cases to be able to implement these for you. So the Freedom Tax Plan, I'm going to give you a demo tonight. It's like LegalZoom, but for tax saving. So you just input your information, and it's a coaching program as well. So you watch several brief videos, and it really goes into more detail with each of these strategies and how you can very easily implement them. So in this example tonight, we're going to talk about a client before they used Freedom Tax and after they used Freedom Tax. If this client makes $300,000, files as a Schedule C, has 2 children, and this doesn't even include state taxes. And of course, it's just for illustrative purposes only, but I wanted to show you the power of the strategies. And we got this from the 1040 and then the total taxes. So we're going to talk about the entity structures that you could possibly have: a home rental, a family management company, hiring your children, and a medical expense reimbursement plan, and an accountable plan for reimbursements. So talking about your entity. Now, I use this a lot with my other clients because a lot of times they're paying self-employment taxes, but in your situation as an investor, or if you are dealing with real estate property and you're collecting rents, you may not be paying self-employment taxes because collecting rental income is by default a passive activity. And so the IRS does not automatically charge you self-employment taxes. If you did pay self-employment taxes, you'd be paying 15.3% on the first 147,000 that you make, and then 3% on all income over that. But you're only going to be paying that if you're filing a Schedule C as a sole proprietorship or a 1065 as a partnership. So you guys may not actually be paying self-employment taxes. If you're dealing with rental income and it's not necessarily your main business, you don't treat it as a business. So you're only going to be paying self-employment taxes if you file a Schedule C or a 1065. And you know that you have paid self-employment taxes because it's on Schedule 2. So again, this may not even apply to you, but one thing you can do is, if you do want to avoid self-employment taxes, is to elect for your company to be an S corporation. And then that way your company pays you a salary, and your salary is what determines the self-employment taxes instead of the entire profit that you make. So in this instance, if this company with a $60,000 salary is saving $12,658. Now, another option that you could do is and again, this is only if you're paying self-employment taxes. And I work with like a lot of attorneys and law firms and doctors, so they're not able to do this. But if you have a company where you're paying self-employment taxes and you're married filing jointly, or if you have a child, you could add a family member as a limited partner. So you could add a spouse or a child as a limited partner, and they would own 99% of the company. And the reason that's so helpful is because a limited partner pays no self-employment taxes on the money that's given to them. So that's a couple of things that you can do for your entities. All right, now let's talk about home rental. Now this is really, really important, and you guys may already know this. So there's a provision in the tax code that states that you do not have to pay taxes on rental income that you receive if you rent out an asset for 14 days or less. You don't have to pay taxes on that income, and you would just deduct it as rental expense. So we could use this like for your own business. So let's say you have, a main business, you're investing, or if you own property, you can rent out your own home to your business for 14 days every year, and you do not have to count that as income. So if you rent it out for $2,000 a day for 14 days, that's $28,000. So your business could pay you $28,000 a year when implemented correctly, and you do not pay taxes on that. And again, Freedom Tax Plan would show you exactly how to do this and give you all the documentation to set it up. So that would give you a tax savings of $5,376. All right, so let's talk about a family management company. So family management companies are great if you have medical expenses that are not reimbursed by your insurance company, or you have children, because we want to hire those children. And the best way to do it is through a family management company. And what a family management company is it represents the management services that you're already providing to your business, right? Like tonight, it's a great example of what you're doing right now. And we want to set up a family management company because it has certain tax advantages over other types of entities. So what you would want to do is you could set up your family management company through Freedom Tax, and then your main business would invoice your family management company. So it would be a deduction for your business, and it would be income to your family management company. However, that income is going to be eliminated by the expenses that I'm about to show you. So the first thing you can do is you can hire your children, and there's no minimum age in the IRS code that limits you to hiring your children because they're working in a family management company, if they're working for their parents. So if you pay your child $12,500 or less, that child pays no taxes on any income, doesn't pay payroll taxes, doesn't pay unemployment taxes, doesn't even file a tax return. So it's a really great way to hire your children. And the Freedom Tax Plan program shows you the best way to hire your kids. That it's so easy and allows you to pay them the most amount of money possible, because kids are not cheap. So let's take a deduction for it. And then you can use that money that you're paying your kids to pay for babysitters, daycare, education, travel, extracurricular activities. You can even use it to fund their 529 plan, to save for college or car, or even to contribute to their Roth IRA. Because you're paying for these things probably already, or most of these things, but you're not getting a deduction for it. So this is a way to get the deduction. So your tax savings here would be $4,800. And then if you're paying for your child's college, you definitely want to do this, because you're probably not getting the education credit because you make too much money. But if you pay your child in an account where you're the co-owner of it, and then you use that money in that account to pay the college, now you're getting your child will have to file a tax return, but you're transferring that money to a lower tax bracket and getting the education credit from the college, technically. So again, the Freedom Tax Fund program will show you more how to do that and how to implement that. Also, with a family management company, the family management company can pay for all of your medical expenses, you and your family's medical expenses that are not reimbursed by insurance, because you probably make too much money to deduct it on a Schedule A, where you have to meet a threshold. But with this, you can deduct all of it. And it's a little bit more broader in the types of medical expenses you can deduct. So like massages, if recommended by your doctor or chiropractor, going to a chiropractor, which is what I do. And I get lots of massages. Again, supplements, if recommended by a doctor or chiropractor. So just to go over the flow of money, your main business, let's say, pay the family management company $37,000. So it's a $37,000 deduction for your business. It's a consulting expense. It's $37,000 of income for your family management company, but you're going to use that $37,000 to pay your children and for medical expenses. So those expenses wiped out the income. So you just want to transfer into your family management company whatever those expenses are that you can use to hire your children and to pay for any unreimbursed medical expenses. And then there's some other things you can do through Freedom Tax Plan. You can deduct the business use of your vehicle correctly. In some cases, you might be able to deduct a large portion of the cost, even if you finance it the first year. The Freedom Tax Fund will show you how you can sometimes deduct your vacations. So the summary of the tax plans, the tax savings, you can see here, if you decided to be a partnership with the entity in this example, the 1 year savings was $38,250. If you elect to be an S corporation and you are paying self-employment taxes before, you would be saving $27,778. And then some questions that I get asked: will your strategies cause an audit risk? No, we've been doing this for a long time. These are very simple strategies, and all the implementation through Freedom Tax Plans is implemented correctly for you. And that is the key. I can help you in different states because I'm a CPA and I have clients all over the United States. If you do not save at least the cost of the Freedom Tax Plan program, then email us your tax return before and after, and we would refund your money to you. I have lots of testimonials on freedomtaxplans.com. You can just click on their picture and it sends you to their LinkedIn profile page. And let me just give you a quick demo of the Freedom Tax Plan program. So this is actually it. If you decide to purchase it, this is the Freedom Tax Plan program. It's very self-explanatory. It walks you through every strategy. You just play the video here, and you start here with updating your entity information. So again, you just watch each very brief video at the beginning of for each question, and you can even speed me up or slow me down with this gear icon. And then it just asks you some questions about your business. If you have a business, if you don't have a business already registered in your state and you want to, it'll show you how to do that. So you just answer, again, very, very simple questions after watching the videos. And if you have children, if you have medical expenses, so I'm just clicking through those. I've done this many times. Your expenses. And then it takes you to your strategies. So these are the strategies that have been chosen by Freedom Tax Plan based upon your situation. So at the home rental, like everyone can use that. So you can just click on this. You can watch the video again. You go into documents. You just fill in your address, your business's address. It could be the same. And then you can see here, you have the home rental agreement that you need. And this is for every strategy. You would have any documentation that you would need for each strategy and all of the implementation for each strategy. So that's just a quick overview. And again, you're probably wondering what it costs. Well, to work individually with people, I charge at least $8,000 or more for the tax plan and implementation. But the Freedom Tax Plan program is much less. So for you guys, if you decide to sign up in the next 24 hours, it's only $897. And that is tax deductible. So Gio, if you want to put in the chat like a link to the Freedom Tax Plan program, that would be great. So again, we'll give you a link that you can sign up for the Freedom Tax Plan. It also includes, of course, email support. I also have a weekly Q&A call on Wednesday afternoons. And of course, email support. And this is for your lifetime, by the way, for your lifetime. Now, another thing that you could do is if you decide that you want to work with me one-on-one, you definitely can do that. I would recommend that if you make $500,000 or more. You would click on that exact same link, but then you would just choose to book a meeting with me. And the first meeting with me is only $99. It's usually $500, but I'm doing a special for $99. And if you do decide to move forward, excuse me, with the tax plan, I give you a $200 credit. So it's really such a great value. If you work with me one-on-one, I work with hundreds of clients. My average savings is $52,750. So again, if you want to work with me one-on-one, you can book a meeting with me for $99. And definitely, I recommend that if you make at least $400,000, definitely $500,000 or more. And of course, you have our email, and you could always call us. All right. So, and I think Gio's put that. Yep, there's the video page. There's the page to sign up. So we've got the slide deck, the page to sign up if you want to book a meeting with me or just buy the Freedom Tax Plan program. And that's a Freedom Tax Plan's link. So anyway, I know that was a lot. Let's see. Oh, and you got the slide deck. So you definitely want to click on that and download the slide deck. So I know that was a lot that I just went over. So yeah, what kind of questions can I answer?
Go ahead, Claudia. I know you always got a good question.
I have a question about like paying your children. So when you have like small children, I have a 4 and a 6-year-old, like there isn't, I mean, what other than taking pictures and like promotions, like marketing, what can they help with, or what do they qualify? What's a qualifying activity that little kids can do, or do they just have to wait till they're older?
No. You can, at 4 and 6, you can absolutely hire them. And it goes into all of that with a freedom tax plan. It
Oh, they
tells
give
you
you
exactly
specific
how to do that.
activities?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. So there are activities they can do?
There are, yeah.
They seem so young. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. It's what you said about marketing, that's a key.
Yeah, thank you.
So I have a question. I'm not sure if you can answer this question, but I'm Canadian and I deal with a lot of Americans. And when the Canadian government said that I don't have to charge them taxes because they're not Canadian and I'm not giving them a product, right? It's just like social media coaching. So I'm kind of at a standstill, like, then who pays the taxes?
That's a good question. That's one that you would want to click on there and set up a meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, good evening. Hey, Christina, thanks for your time. So I really love what I'm hearing and like all the benefits, especially the family management company portion. Um, I had a question. So is this dependent on the taxing structure? For example, I know you mentioned S Corp, but right now I have a C Corp. And my mission with that is to use it as like my eventual family management. For example, I use that C Corp when I go to the bank to present W-2s to get loans and whatnot. And eventually I want to, me and my wife, I want to drop our regular paycheck jobs and then eventually get insurance through that C Corp. So that way we can get, purchase insurance. But are you saying I should set up an S Corp too, or can I get the same benefits, but with my C Corp?
That is a great question. You actually cannot, because the thing with a family management company, and again, the Freedom Tax Plan shows you how to do this and walks you through it, but it's a single member LLC.
Mhm.
And the advantage of that is that if you hire your children, then through the family management company versus a C Corp, if you hired your children through a C Corp, you would have to pay payroll taxes, which is 15.3%. So it really kind of defeats the purpose. But if you do it through a family management company, there's a special provision in the tax code that says you do not have to pay payroll taxes. So what you would want to do, and then also you can set up through a family management company, it's what's called a medical expense reimbursement plan. Again, it can only be done through a family management company or a single member LLC. So what you would want to, but then that would be easy. So you've got your main business would be your C Corp, right?
Mhm.
So you would, that your family management company would bill your C Corp, let's say
I was just about, okay.
15,000, for management services, right? Because you're providing management services.
Mhm.
So your family management company would bill your C Corp for like $15,000.
Gotcha.
But then you might have, you might hire your kid $12,000 and have medical expenses of $3,000. So now you've zeroed that out and you've pulled $15,000 out of your main business tax-free.
Beautiful. Okay,
Tax-free.
so my C Corp can own the S Corp and I could set up a separate entity.
You want to set up a separate entity. Just for
Beautiful.
your
That's music to my ears. Okay, I just had a quick follow-up question,
Uh-huh.
and I think this would benefit everybody in the group. Now, I'm getting ready to purchase one of these electric trucks because I need a new toy.
Mhm.
Now I heard about this Section 179.
Yes.
How do I use Section 179 in the grand scheme of what you presented? Because I know you had a section vehicle deduction, vehicle expenses. How would Section 179 come into play? Only
Okay.
because I've been educated. I've been trying to educate myself around that.
Right. Yes. So how much are you going to use it for your business?
Well, right now I told my CPA 50-50. He said he recommended if you're going to do 100, do 100, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff he said, like, because you got to put the commercial insurance on the vehicle and all this other stuff. So right now I'm at 100. Let's just go with 100. I'm going to go with 100.
Okay. So yeah, the section 179, you can use accelerated depreciation for it. Now, you could write off the entire amount if it were over 6,000 pounds, but I don't think there's any electric vehicles that are over 6,000 pounds now.
It's a pickup truck. It'll be a pickup truck. So
Oh, okay. Well, maybe they've gotten to that point. So if it's over 6,000 pounds, you can use that to deduct. So let's say it's cost you $80,000, but you financed it.
Mhm.
You can deduct $80,000 the first year, even though you financed it.
That's okay. Okay.
Yeah.
This-
Great question.
Thank you. Beautiful. Just
You're
beautiful.
welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. And again, this is all in the Freedom Tax Plan program. This is like all in there. So it would show you how to do your family management company. It would create all the documentation that you need for it, the consulting contract, the sample invoice, the formation documents. Again, tell you exactly how to hire your kids, even if they're 4, and produce all the documentation that you needed for it.
Are you near Lehigh Acres in Florida?
Close, Fort Myers.
Okay, our third partner's there. This is good news. Thank you.
Oh yeah, my parents used to live there and then they moved back.
Thank you so much.
We'll get together, we'll play pickleball. I just
We
picked that
will.
up.
Yeah, if I don't throw them
I love it. Once I get out of quarantine, I can start playing again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for the question.
Any more questions? See you to ask. Come on, guys.
Oh, let me see. Okay. This is something else.
Minky, I know you just got in here. Mr. International. Anybody has a question?
The question I was asked was asked already. About,
Oh,
you know what? Let me answer the question. Another question then. When it says kids, right? First of all, great presentation.
Oh, thank you.
Save the time. When you say kids, let's say you have grandkids, right? That's a part of it also?
So
Or
you
does it
could
tax-
do it. You could do it with grandkids. You
Mhm.
could do it with grandkids. It's the
Okay.
same thing. Mhm.
Okay. So, okay, same thing. Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Good question.
Christina, how are you? It's Robert here.
Thanks. Yeah, doing great. Thanks.
Question for you about the rental of the home to the
Mhm.
business. How long do the meetings supposed to take place? Like, is there a certain amount of attendees and the time of the meeting that's taking place when I rent out my home to the business?
Great question. There's no time limit. It's all about documentation, and you can be it just with yourself as well.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be any attendees. Doesn't have to be any particular time period. You just have to document it. And I have a very simple video of how to do that. And plus you need all the correct documentation as well, like an actual rental agreement
Mm-hmm.
that is produced for you as well.
Okay, all right. I was explaining it to my wife. She thinks we need to have 25 to 50 people because I told her about, the cost of an average conference room, hotel and all that that comes up with that price of $2,000 a day. But all right, just myself or both of us
Mhm.
will be the attendees.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And the Freedom Tax Plan will show you exactly how to properly document those meetings. And it's very easy. It's how I do it.
Okay, very good. Thanks.
Hi, if I can ask another question. So
Yeah.
for travel expenses, as a real estate professional traveling, to go like do a closing or do like a property like inspections and stuff, the travel expenses, if my husband helps and he's part of co-owner of the business, does he get to write off expenses too? Or is it just me because I'm the primary, like real estate professional?
Oh, no, he does too. If he's a co-owner, absolutely.
He can also get the benefits of, okay.
Mhm.
Well, but the thing is, as a rental, I mean, he's my husband, he signed the loans, so he's automatically a co-owner, I'm assuming?
Oh, right. Yeah. So he can, his expenses, yeah, can be written off as well.
Okay, yeah, okay, thank you.
I'm going to ask a follow-up question to Claudia regarding writing off the expenses. So expenses, does it have to be like you're going to visit a property or anything? Or is it like when you're entertaining an investor or meeting with the investor, can we write that off too?
Okay, yeah, great questions. The IRS defines an expense that you can deduct as anything that's reasonable or necessary. So that's pretty broad. We studied, and I kid you not, in law school, a tax court, where a stripper, just true story, true tax court scenario, a stripper received a breast augmentation and she deducted it as a business expense, and the judge allowed it. So it's anything to do reasonable or necessary with your business. So that is very, very, it's a broad statement. So it's, if you can relate it to your business, you can write it off. So anything to do with investors, entertaining investors, yes. Now you can't you can't write off the tickets to like a game anymore. They have taken that away. You can't, buy the skybox at, your arena and write that off anymore because people were doing that. I wasn't. But besides that, you can. And right now with meals, if you go to a restaurant and eat meals, that's now 100% deductible right now until I believe 2025, because they want people in restaurants. It used to be 50%. Now it's 100%.
How about a travel? Let's say if you wanted to go travel, meet some international investors.
Or is going to be international or within the United States?
And international.
Okay,
Does
so
it
international, it's a little bit different with international, is that it has to be the majority of the purpose for why you're going over there and the majority of your time over there. So 51% or more has to be dedicated to business purpose. Now, again, I've got some tips and tricks and freedom tax to show you you could do that. If it's more than 51% or more, then you can write off the entire travel expenses like to and from. If it's less than 51%, you can only write off the actual expenses directly related to your business purpose, but you cannot deduct the travel.
Okay, but how would you prove that you travel internationally and you met with these investors? Because, it might take more time to bring them on board. Initially, they just wanted to see what you're doing and how they can participate and, get more details from you.
Yeah, just record the time you spend with them.
That's it? Okay.
Record the time that you spend with them or any kind of planning. Just, you can put it in your calendar.
So that's a substantial proof that we did
Yes.
that. Okay, perfect. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Oh,
And
you're
I'm sorry I joined at the tail end. Can I ask you for the slides, or I think I'll get.
Yeah, if you go into chat, the slides are, the slide deck's right here.
Okay.
And then I have a program called Freedom Tax Plans. You can,
I can save the chat so that.
yeah, you can see that.
Thank you.
This video's to watch. I think that was for me, Gio. I don't know if you can delete that. Anyway, you don't need to watch video to watch. That Luke sent me, but that's all right. It's about, you can, it's not a big deal. He was just talking about tonight, make sure I was ready.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
One other question, Christina. Claudia talked about that being a real estate professional, right? When you're a real estate professional, I'm retired, right? So now, can I go into real estate professional status? I know I got to write down everything I'm doing, where I'm at, the whole 9 yards. Is that something that's possible or plausible?
Possible, yeah. What you should do is book a meeting with me, and we can talk about that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Again, I'm sorry I had to cut it short, just still recovering from COVID. And it's pretty late here. So I will log off, but you've got all the chat information, and feel free to book a meeting with me. Sign up for Freedom Tax Plans. In the next 24 hours, it's only $897. And thank you so much for allowing me to be here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Christina.
Great, thank you.
And I hope you recover ASAP. Thank you so much for a great presentation. And guys, take advantage of that offer.
Yeah.
Great
Thank
offer
you.
right there.
Thank you.
Gio, let's talk when we can as well. I saw your message, so we can talk. But if you guys want that recording, let me know. But yeah, thank you guys so much,
Absolutely.
and thank you for being on here. And if you guys want to come back, please let me know.
Yeah,
Love to have you
sure.
back,
Thank you.
Christina.
Thank you guys for your time too. Appreciate it.
All righty, so let's. This is early one, so let me start the recording.